All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Uncle Sonny Live Project, where we have conversations with different entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and creators about the mindset that it takes to live a life by design instead of by default. Today, I'm super excited about our guest. We actually met at a networking, a business conference, and he really showed up in a major way. He was one of the people that really stood out in the crowd. We're talking to my man who is passionate about real estate, mental health, and helping people help themselves. He's a serial entrepreneur and personal development coach. We got my man Winter Watts, and that's right, Winter is your real name, right?
Yes, love. Winter is my real government name, man. My parents said I was destined to be successful, so they gave me that first step, you need it, which is the name, so you can program yourself in order to be.
For sure, it sounds like they was tuned into the frequency and vibration. They understand that the words you speak, house you live in, right?
Exactly.
For sure. How you doing today?
Today is a good day. Got up 6 this morning, meditated. The sun is out. I'm getting some of that vitamin D, making sure I'm corona free. And got some reading in today, and now I'm ready to, lay some gems for the folks.
Sure, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience, your knowledge with us, because I know that there's something that is going to come out of your mouth that's really going to shift somebody's paradigm. It's going to shift their mindset and get them to start seeing things in a different way, and it's going to be super beneficial. But before we jump in, I just want to give you an opportunity to kind of introduce yourself a little bit more as far as, where you came from, what your journey is like, what you're working on, and where we're headed.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Winner. Winner, Winner for a reason, not a season. I played football majority of my life. I was always, you feel me, the captain of my football team, the captain of the president of the Black Student Union. I always was leading by example. I chose to be a serial entrepreneur because I knew about a lot of things, and I didn't want to do what most people said do and just focus on one something because I can be a master of many. But that's a taboo, in our community. So I've just practiced patience and resilience. I mean, I'll give a small personal detail. I lost my mother when I was 6 years old. My father been doing life in prison since I was born. I am the only child, so I did raise myself along with, experience, life, tests, and then coaches and teachers that stepped in to help give me some type of guide on the way there. I decided to get into real estate about 2 years ago because I saw that it was a lack of representation of people like ourselves buying back the block and being able to teach the community to do the same thing. We always are paying other people's mortgages by paying rent, and we can be homeowners, you feel me, house flippers, and landlords too, So if you allow yourself to, again, lead from the front and show the proof is in the pudding, I feel like that was inspiring within itself. I got into my other fields like, credit repair, graphic design, personal and business development, because I just knew that, again, it started with cutting out the middleman and being all I could be so I can help the people immensely. I didn't want to have to always look for other individuals. I didn't have the resources that everybody else did, so I made myself more resourceful. And that's why I just decided to just be a sponge and just absorb as much game information and talents and skills as I could, not only so I could monetize them, you feel me, when I got to that point, but just so I can be able to help people help themselves in different areas and arenas in their life.
Beautiful stuff, man. That's a very deep story, and I do appreciate you for being open, honest, and transparent about your story. I mean, I know a lot of people will have trouble going into that darkness, but you know that once you've gone through that darkness, you come out, strengthened. You come out stronger, and I think that's one thing that's important for people listening to hear is that you shouldn't run away from things like that. You should lean into it and turn that trial into your story, and so the reason why you win. You know what I'm saying? That's very dope. I have a question for you. It was in regards to your story. Like a lot of people would see that story and they're not looking to achieve above and beyond. A lot of people coming from where we come from, it's like, damn, we got it so bad. All I want to do is be okay. You know,
Right.
what would you say to somebody who a lack of, so that's another thing that really stood out. So I'm gonna tie the two in together. A lot of people that I speak with are feeling a lack of resources. They're feeling a lack of money, time, energy. And what you said that stood out was where you saw a lack of resources, you decided to become resourceful. So what would you say to somebody who is feeling that lack of money, lack of time, and lack of energy right now?
Well, and it's I don't always tell my story as deep as I probably should because I want to show people that I am, you feel me, the definition of what resilience looks like. So, when I get on the other end of things, when, where the grass is greener, then I'll end up letting them know, like, I did this literally all by myself because, of my circumstances. But I don't necessarily use my circumstances as my Achilles heel. I use that to push me forward, but not allow that, you feel me, to stop me because we are not a product of our environment. We are a product of our choices. So if you choose to stay hindered, if you choose to stay in a situation that your parents may have left you in or handed you into, you feel me, that is up to you. You chose to do that. And when I saw the lack thereof, that is what drove me to find the information that I felt that was missing. I know this is not how life is supposed to be. I know this is not the buy all be all. I know this can't be the greener that they will talk about on the other side. This can't be. This shit is blue over here, So I just feel like people have to do one of two things: believe enough of themselves despite circumstances, and be able to adjust and adapt on the fly. I always tell people I had a business conversation the other day. Damn, I can't have that happen. See, the clients is texting me now. Uh, I had a conversation the other day. He was just like, man, bro, like I love your mindset, I love your drive, I love your will. How did you get like that? And it didn't happen overnight. All of it is over time. Is because I failed enough, or not even necessarily failed, but I was falling enough to know how good getting up felt. So, I didn't need to always be quote unquote winning. I just need to always be willing. You feel me? So if I'm willing, I am winning because I'm moving forward. One step forward every day is 365 steps. If we do it on a percentage, that's 365% increase. That's an ROI anybody would want. But where you get the ROI at? The investment into yourself, and just knowing that all of it is temporary, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you can be able to get through what you're going through regardless of the current circumstance. Your current destination is not your final destination, at the end of the day. And I just want to let people know that it is possible, because not only are people already doing it, you are going to be that next story, as long as you know that, you feel me, you got to put one foot in front of the other.
Right. Man, powerful stuff. A lot of things are coming up for me, bro. First off, if you're listening to this right now, I need you to write that down. If you're willing, you're winning. First off, let me get that out the way. That was heavy. But I was listening to a comedian earlier. She's very funny, but she was talking about how when you're talking to a business owner, right, an entrepreneur, and you're looking to start your own business and you're looking to get advice, we always say things like, oh, well, you got to work hard. It's not for the faint of heart, and all these different things. And she was frustrated because she was like, well, what did you actually do? Like, what are the steps that you took? And it's understandable. But the way I took it was, it's two different languages, because when you're an entrepreneur, there's no one size fits all. There's no step-by-step process to your mindset. You have to go through it to understand what it is. I mean, sure, you can get steps, but you're going to get steps to do what I did. That's not necessarily your passion or your path. Like, you've got to figure that out for yourself, and then talk to people that are in your niche, or in you're on your same path. And if you're going to ask for a general sense of advice, that's what you're going to get. She was funny, but, could you speak into that a little bit? Do you ever have experiences like that where people are asking you, advice on starting a business, becoming an entrepreneur, but they're not really clear on what they want to do in the first place?
Yeah, so that actually is most of my clients. 90% of my clients have an idea of what they want to do, but they don't have a plan of what they want to do. And those two things differentiate, you feel me? Because we all get ideas. But when you see it actually implicated and applied out in the world, and you're like, fuck, I had that thought. Somebody else did it. That's because that idea wasn't just yours. And the fact that you didn't act on it, it really wasn't yours. The universe is blessing everybody with these thoughts and these ideas, but who's action oriented, So who's really willing to do what you need to do and put in enough work to have the compound effect? So when clients call me, text me, DM me, because I usually do like free 15-minute consultations. So a lot of people just try to get as much as they can for free because, I mean, people want to pick your brain but don't want to pick an invoice. So when they don't have the necessary plan or direction, I just tell them sit down and be intentional. Because there's no way you can get to Vegas on foot without typing in the directions on GPS. You feel me? And GPS is gonna be the only way you can get there. You feel me? You gotta follow those routes and exits, and you feel me, freeways that allow you to do that. But you can't walk on that path if you don't even know where the path is. Okay, I know I want to go north, but how far? You feel me? Up to what point? You feel me? And do you think you got to just go straight to get there? Because that's not how success looks. Success is not vertical. You feel me? It's horizontal. It's zigzaggy. You feel me? It's loop-de-looped, and then it's up. So I really just do a lot of, think it, write it, speak it. You feel me? Mantras. You feel me? Over and over with some of my clients. I mean, I know it might sound cliche, but it works. Like, I can't speak no other way about it because I've done it and I've seen it actually occur. I've seen my back against the wall in certain situations, and you feel me? I knew what I wanted to get out of that situation, so I wrote it down. I spoke it out loud. Yeah, I talked to myself because I got the best answers, and then it occurred. So if you really want whatever it is that you want, you feel me? Speak it out loud to yourself. Speak it out loud into the mirror, and write down what it is you feel me, that you want intentionally. Again, we want a wide range of things. I just want to be successful. We'll self-define that. What does success look like to you? Oprah might be successful to somebody that wants to be a TV owner and a speaker, but don't look like success to somebody else that want to be a gardener or you feel me, electrician or architect. You feel me? It's different lanes and ranges of that success. So once you self-define what it is success is for you, plan that route forward and back so you can now know, okay, this may occur, and you already ready for the obstacles.
Right. Bro, it's super important. It's probably the most important thing that you can do as a new entrepreneur to get your vision right. Like, I feel like that's probably a big bulk of the work is knowing what you're doing, where you're going, and more importantly than that, why you're doing it. That's very, very heavy when it comes to what you're doing, what your passion is, what your vision is. What do you have to say? Because I know that a lot of people listening to this, they'll probably say, well, I just want to make some money. And, if I start my own business, I could just make some money. Is that a good enough reason to really put yourself through this journey? Or
I mean, that depends on what you want overall. If that is the overall goal, then that's not going to necessarily be good enough. If that is a part of the piece of the puzzle that makes the wheel spin, then by all means, because of course when you write that book, you feel me, you plan to sell it, so of course you want to get some coins back for your applied knowledge, information, experience, trials and tribulations, success, and testimonies. That only makes sense. But if that's the buy all be all, if that's the why, I only want to make money. Well, do you know how to manage money? Do you know how to leverage money? Do you know how to utilize money? Or does money use you? And if money is the main goal, okay, well, do you know how to make your money make money for you? Do you know how to invest your money? Do you know how to save your money? If you don't know these different compartments of money, then I can't even help you because the money go rule you. It ain't gonna never satisfy you, and you could be getting used more than you using it.
Right. I think that when you have a reason for doing what you're doing that's bigger than you, bigger than money. That's going to incentivize you to learn how money works, because money is a tool. It's not the end result goal. Like, if that's the end result goal, like you said, you can always have more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do many different things and make money. What is the reason why you're doing this one specific thing? I think it's important to have a vision that is bigger than you and bigger than money, because when that is the case, now you got to learn how to use money to get to the actual goal, instead of, okay, I got a check and now I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got a check and now I'm just going to pay my rent and that's it. That's how you live paycheck to paycheck. And I think that's a major mental shift that needs to happen, especially in our communities, is that money is not your master. It's not your boss. It's supposed to be your employee.
Yes, sir. Exactly. And that's why I ask even my friends, my friends sometimes, they don't even like having conversations with me because they know I'm going to talk about some type of business, some type of progression, some type of personal development, some type of mindset. You feel me? Something. You feel me? Some type of encouragement.
Right.
Sometimes you get tired of that, whatever. But sometimes when I meet new people, or like I meet one of my friends, associates, I'll ask them, like, hey, how you doing, brother? What you do? What type of value do you bring to the universe? They'll tell me what it is they think they want to do. I'm like, let me ask you this. If you had $10,000 right now, what would you do with it? They always say invest. Then I say invest in what? And they never know. And if they do they'll name some generic stuff like, oh, stocks, real estate. Well, what stocks are you going to buy if you're not buying them now? What real estate are you going to invest into if you don't even know how the house buying process works? You feel me? And then you get them really thinking like, damn, I really don't know what I would do with this more money, yet the goal is to make money. So how is that the goal and our objective? And when it comes, because it's coming, anything you're running towards is running towards you, as long as you keep on running. You feel me? It's going to meet you on the halfway point. But when it's actually there, you don't want to wait till it is in your lap to try to make these decisions. You want to be so prepared and moving as a high class 1%er before you get there. Now, when you get there, it's regular. It's normal. It's no problem. No issue. This is easy. I already wrote down the plan. My first 100,000 is accounted for. You feel me? But if that's not the case for you, that needs to become the case for you before your ass have a case, because you will be doing crazy.
Facts. I think that it still goes into having that vision, because if you never imagine yourself with $10,000, you never really considered what you would do with it. And I don't think that people imagine themselves with the money, because you get a paycheck, you know what I'm saying? You get money. Like, you got to be specific. Like, you got to be talking about specific amounts. How much money do you want? We can't even answer that question a lot of the times. You want $10,000? Okay, you can have $10,000, but why take $10,000 when you could ask for $100,000, $500,000, $1 million? And that brings me to another point. They say that if somebody was to hand you $1 million, you had better become a millionaire quick, or you won't have it for long.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true. And I've heard that before as well, because we can get the money because we know how to work for money, but we don't know how to make money. Those are two different things. It's like passive income, residual income, earned income. Like, you know how to be an employee, but you don't know how to employ anything else. You feel me? You can't even employ yourself to work for you. So if you are given this $1 million, you really have to, again, use your applied knowledge. Like, I don't want to just read books just to say I got a nice big library. If I'm not actually applying any of this information, it's not going to register to me, because you got to have this shit registered in your unconscious mind, because your unconscious mind allows you to make certain decisions like your reflex would. You feel me? Like, if you training, and this is why we go to practice. Allen Iverson said, practice. This is why we go to practice. You have to practice this stuff. So when it happens for you, it's like this. Oh, I already know how to do that. I already know how to divvy this up. If I get $1 million, 500,000 is on traveling, and the other, you feel me, 100,000 is on this. Now, if you know, okay, this is what I would divvy it on. Now learn those lanes. Now learn those industries. How does the house buying process work? what does buying stock look like now? You feel me? What does invested into real estate trust look like? You feel me? And different things of that nature. So yeah, you really have to just plan in advance. You know, nothing's gonna happen for you the way you wanted to unless you plan in advance. I can hand you $1 million today. You feel me? And the only reason why you gonna know what to do with it and stay a millionaire and make you some more money is because you've been planning for that day to come, because it's already on the way.
Right. You gotta believe it. Gotta believe it. Let me ask you this, Winter. What is the first thing, the most important thing that anybody needs to know about money just coming out the gate?
First thing anybody needs to know about money is that you control it, it doesn't control you. Don't allow yourself to think that the actual piece of paper, you feel me, has that much power. We put the power into it. You feel me? Just like anything else. So if you know that you're empowering, you feel me, this piece of
Yeah.
paper, like, all right, well, what type of power are you gonna embody it with? You know, like, so me myself, before I even got to the point where I am going to empower my money and make my money work for me, it took me losing money. It took me misinvesting money. It took me wasting money because we exchanged time for money.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff that I was losing money, wasting money, is because all that time that was invested was what was lost. Fuck the dollars. We can get that back. We can get the money back, because you can't get none of that time back. So when you use your time, that's how you can empower your money and fuel it. When you driving around in your car and you looking for a gas station, Chevron money is in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Because they powered up a fuel station where you need them, you feel me? And now you got to go use what's supposed to be yours for something else. When you get paid, you pay everybody else but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You pay your phone bill, your car note, you feel me? It is. You get your nails done, get a haircut. We for sure getting haircuts, lineups.
Yeah.
That's how you empowered your money. But I'm using, okay, I'm going to take this 10, I'm going to buy me some clippers so I don't got to pay my barber no more. You feel me? I'm going to buy me a bucket for $4,500 as opposed to, you feel me, spending $600 a month on a car to impress people that I don't even like anyway and don't really care about me anyway. You feel me? Because now I'm going to give myself these additional skills, additional assets to be able to help myself use this money effectively like a tool, like you mentioned. You feel me? Like a vehicle. It just, I ain't gonna say it, I don't want to keep saying it's taboo. It just like it hasn't been as taught as we wanted it to be. You feel me? Like, it's not the conversation at the kitchen table. It's just not. They tell you don't fuck up your credit, but they don't tell you how to fix it. You feel me? They don't tell you how to build it. You know, they tell you don't end up like me, paycheck to paycheck. Well, I've seen no other way. You know, you feel me? What does that really look like? You know, I'm taking a class at school from somebody that got a degree in business but never started a business. You know, it's kind of hard to listen to that information until you yourself become the master of your mind, you feel me, and the master of your fate by empowering even the things around you to become vehicles, you know?
Right. Now, for this next question, super powerful answer too, bro. Gems. I hope people are taking notes for real, because this is the mindset shift that needs to happen. We need to change the way we look at money, and that is going to change the way we use it. And when we change how we use it, we're going to change the results that we get back from it. But my next question for you is, shoot, this never happened. I'll cut this part out. It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah. You can edit this.
What the hell was the question? All right, I remember. So my next question for you is, and I have my own opinion on it, but let's see if we're on the same page. I have a feeling that we're going to be. What is the most important investment that anybody can make just getting started?
Now, you already know the most important investment you can make in your life at any point in time, it's never too late, is the investment into yourself. Okay. Because we always putting ourselves last for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Why? Why do you put you last? Why do you pay you last? When I get paid for my 9 to 5, I pay me first. Now, if I don't got enough money left over for T-Mobile, that's on them. You feel me? But I gotta get mine. I gotta bless me. Your best investment is always gonna be you. Whether that's reading, whether that's learning, whether that's working out, whether that's eating right, whether that's actually seeking the help that you need. I'm a very strong advocate for mental health and actually seeking out assistance. It doesn't even have to necessarily be therapy. You can find things that give you that without going to go talk to Sally or Susan, you feel me, Billy and Rob, you feel me. There are different alternatives to that. But that investment into self, your mind, your reflection time, will do you better than anything that's monetary out here.
Do you have an experience with investing in yourself that you would be able to share?
Yeah. So for a long time, people always was telling me to read, right? And I was just like, yeah, reading is cool. Like, you feel me? Like, that's cool. Like, I'll read for an assignment. I'll read to pass a class. Um, but when we going through school and work, let's try to unlearn what we've already been programmed, and see how we would do on our own. Like, let's just see, if you didn't have somebody structuring your life, how would you structure it? If you really had your own time, what would you do with it? And that's what I've noticed with just this coronavirus time frame that I've had. It's like you were never lacking time, you was lacking discipline. Because if you ever really wanted to do what you was doing, you would have did that with the time that you did have. Now you have more time, and you're trying to figure out what you would do with this extra time on your hands. So for like the last, I'll say 6 weeks, I already do what I do, and I was like, but I self-taught myself, and I'm better than most because I taught myself, you feel me, how to do it, and other people were just looking like, oh my God, you got to do this on the third. It's like, you can teach yourself too. So I was like, why not hone in and master these skills? Why not actually dive deeper into what it is that you already want to do? Boom, I signed up for a course to become a certified life coach, a certified personal and business development coach, you feel me? Like, recognized by the state of California. I took you feel me, Udemy graphic design course, you feel me, by a 5-star Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, you feel me, instructor, to allow myself to not just be who I am, but be the best version of that. You can only be the best version if you're always willing to learn. I never know enough. You feel me? I've never learned it. You feel me? I'm always learning it. And as long as you know that part, it's like, okay, you feel me? I can keep going. There is no ceiling. Oh, once I'm touch 1 million, I done made it. Well, 2 million's out there, 5 million's
Right.
out there, 100 million's out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, like over the course of these last couple of weeks, man, I just really honed in. I got 2 ebooks that I'm in the process of writing. They should be done in the next 30 days. I got my first physical book that'll be done in the next 30 days. And these are things that I already was doing, but I just didn't finish. So it's just like, okay, well, you have your time. Your time is being given to you. The world is slowing down. It's on pause. Everything is on reset. Everything is on refocus. Everything is on recharge. Everything is on replenish. What are you going to do? You have to really look at yourself in the mirror. What are you going to do? Are you continue to do the same thing you've been doing and continue to complain about it? Continue to watch people that are, you feel me, maybe not even as good as you or as skilled as you being successful in these lanes because they decided to tap into what their potential actually was. A lot of people just don't tap into the potential. They claim we all have it, but I might think that you can make 100 million and you only think you can make 10. That's your own ceiling. You feel me? But if you don't tap into that potential, the things that people see, potential is like oxygen. You feel me? It's there to serve you, but you can't see it until you need it. You feel me? When you need it, you feel when you grasp for air, But when right now, you grasping for some more money. You grasping for better opportunities. What are you going to do in these situations, in these trying times? What do you want your story to be at the end of this? Like, we about to be out of this in the next 30 to 60 days. This is going to be over. And then we're going to get into the new normal. How did you prepare yourself for that?
Right. I hope these people are thinking about it. I hope you're really considering, the direction that your life is going in. And one thing that really stood out to me from what you said, or it came up in me, was how people put limits on themselves based on what they see, what they smell, what they can touch. They call it reality. I think that being realistic is just a sorry excuse for being pessimistic. You know what I'm saying? I would do this and I would do that, but this, that, and the other. Like, bro, like when you realize that you have the power to design your life and that nothing that you see around you actually matters when it comes to what you're able to speak over your life and speak into your life, I think you really take the limits and the chains off, you know, of your mentality. Now you're not just talking about making $50,000 a year. You can start talking about making 100,000, 2 million, 10 million. There's no limit on the money, and if you're focused on the money, you're never gonna have enough. You got to be focused on a purpose, and we can go on and on and on about it. But we're getting up to that time, so before we tap out, I want to give you the opportunity to get the last words, and I want to know what is the number one thing that people can do right now, right here, right this second, to start getting on the track of moving out of your job and into your dream.
The one thing I can say people can do is understand that you have everything you need right now at this exact moment. As you're listening to this, as you're watching this, to get started. You are exactly where you need to be right now. You know exactly the right people you need to know to get into the right doors right now. If you don't apply this information that you get, if you keep on listening to motivation, you will never be able to get where you're trying to go because you'll always be trying. And when you're trying, you're lying. When you're doing, you're pursuing. So take the words that you use, that you speak life over your life, understand that these are spells. That's why it's called spelling. So when you are speaking these certain things, you know, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. I'm thinking about this. No, you don't want to be from the I'm gonna do tribe. Be a doer, you know. And doers are people that believe in themselves. They know against all odds. Odds are going to be in your favor regardless. You feel me? There's going to be obstacles regardless. Everybody's going to have a struggle. Just make sure in the midst of being a diamond in a rough, you choose a side. You either go be the diamond or go be the rough. So when you picking, be intentional, be direct, and just shoot and pull the trigger on life and know that when you shoot for the stars, you land on the moon. You got close. If you say you want to make 100 million and you only made 2 million, damn, you fell short, but look how far you went.
Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. Powerful stuff. And I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you again for taking the time, you know, for changing our minds, for giving us perspective. Before we wrap up, I want to ask one last thing, and that is, how can we connect with you, what you're working on? I know you mentioned the books that you're working on that's coming out in the next month or so. What else are you working on? How can we support you, and how can we connect with you?
Well, my Instagram is Winner Watts, WINNERWATTS. That's my government name. I didn't want to be anybody else but me. I'm working on a lot, man. I'm working on the best ways to help people help themselves, you know, and really dynamically change where they are to go where they're to get to where they're going. I have my 5 stress and anxiety strategies ebook that I'm coming out with. I got my 5 ways to dismantle depression ebook that I'm coming out with. I have a don't gamble with your credit, you feel me, ebook that I'm coming out with. I have a win within volume 1, 2, and 3 series that I'm coming out with because I do some poetry, some spoken word. So I'm putting that in a series of books. And then I have my app that I'm developing. I do some website designing, so I'm actually about to finish up my website. I gotta get just a few more photos to be able to make it look and pop exactly how I want to. But I'm here to help service the community, man. Like, you know, I'm out here. When I get off this call, I'm about to call my community right now, see if anybody trying to buy, sell, or invest in the real estate. I just really want to help people do what it is they already want to do. If you need that push, if you need that encouragement, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to serve that purpose. We're all here to be utilized. Just don't misuse me. So if you want to tap in, follow my Instagram. My Facebook is the same thing, Winter Watts. My DMs are always open. I'm always looking to cross-brand, promote, collab, and do things with people that want to prevail, that want to move forward, that want to help more people than just themselves and reach the masses, because this is all bigger than us. We all go eventually leave this place. What are you going to leave here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to tap in with you, good brother. That's all we have for this conversation. Everybody listening, love, love. Be well. Don't forget to have the guts to follow your guts. Peace.